Welcome to Out of Bounds. We're here at 4300 Abbott Road, Danny South, where we do the show every Monday night. My name is Victor Acevedo. I'm the locker room reporter, and I know what you're thinking. Where's Sal? Where's AJ? I go, whoa. If you haven't known by now, the team flew right out to London after the Cincinnati loss, so they're technically already working on the game plan for next week.
All right, hi, everybody. We are here in London. I actually think, what is it, Hertfordshire County? I don't even know how to say the county here. It's something, and then it's Waterford is the town name. Can you say any of this stuff, AJ?
I do not. All I know is this is our hotel, and been to London City. Other than that, I'm not sure.
Have you gone in and actually experienced the city itself, the Eye, Big Ben, things like that?
Yeah, we went down there the first day we were here. We had a day off and just kind of sightseeing, see the culture, meet some people, and see a couple new things.
Now, everybody wants to know about the jet lag that goes along with this trip. How bad was it for you when you got here? Now here you and I are talking on a Thursday, and what's the difference now?
It wasn't bad at first. We came in here, obviously a week early to get acclimated. And, the first night of sleep, you want to go to sleep early or you want to wake up late, whatever it is. But it throws your body off a little bit. But I'd say now we're almost adjusted.
You guys have an important game, obviously, this week. You want to make sure you don't drop below 500. You have a second-year quarterback in Blake Bortles, a little different than facing Brady and Manning and Dalton and guys like that. But you think, is the defense kind of ready to get after it a little bit after last week's game?
I'd say so. The one thing that I can say about these guys is they want to get back out on the field. You never want to have that loss be the last game you have. And so all we're ready to do is, prove ourselves next game and get back out there.
I've noticed really here that this is kind of like a normal road game where you guys have your meetings set up and things like that, but everything's taken care of for you. It really doesn't seem like we're away from home, does it?
Yeah, not at all. They're taking very good care of us, and that's all we can ask for. Everybody's been great to us, from the people working at the hotel, people working on the airline, the field and everything. So it's been a great experience.
It should be really interesting going into Sunday as well, playing at Wembley Stadium. Will that be kind of the most famous kind of world venue you've ever played in?
I'd definitely say so. Haven't left or played in another country, obviously, besides America, so it'll be fun.
All right, we're gonna take a little tour here around in just a second, but thanks a lot, AJ, obviously, for joining us this week in London. We're glad he's able to do this here on Out of Bounds, and we're going to show you a little bit about the hotel and where these guys are staying this week.
Out of Bounds is brought to you by Diamond Cutters of Western New York. Buy where the pros buy. Buy direct from the Diamond Cutter. Excura Salon and Spa, the finest in traditional and modern techniques. Savor the experience. Bova Family Chiropractic, 1953 Ridge Road in La Seneca. Feel the healing hands. Stumps Gymnastics Center, 2187 Worley Drive in Williamsville. And by Flixtures on the web at www.etsy.com/shop/fixtures. By Buffalo Battleground Airsoft Arena and Store, providing birthday parties, walk-on play, and gaming 5 days a week. And by Wall Performing Arts Studios. Dance, act, sing, learn from the best.
Hey, it's AJ. Welcome to Out of Bounds. I'm going to show you guys a few things. Here we are in London. This is kind of a player's lounge. We got a couple of Xboxes, TVs, meeting rooms, training rooms, everything like that. Everything they take care of us here. Out back, you got some scenery out there, and then ping pong. Ping pong's the one game. A lot of people claim to be good at whatever, but ping pong's the one game. I think consensus that Nick O'Leary's the best player on the team.
What about the Xbox? What is that?
Yeah, so we got two Xboxes set up. The games we got are Madden 16 and FIFA 16. Things always, they get competitive here, us being competitors. But personally, I'd say I'm the best on the team at FIFA 16. Got some good matchups, with Duke Williams here, but I'm taking them right now. All right, and then follow me. We're going to have, a couple snacks right here, but we have our meal room coming up right down the hall here.
Got some of your defensive teammates over there?
Oh, yeah, these are the big-time guys. We got Jerry Hughes over there, Steph Gilmore, everybody, so it's fun.
Say hi for the camera. Join London, guys. Yeah, there you go. Gilmore's good.
Just a little tour, man. A little tour.
All right. Tell us a little bit about
then, coming up, this is our meal room. So we eat here every meal, right after practice, before meetings in the morning, for dinner. But they take care of us. I think we either brought a chef or, we got some kind of inside going in here. So they do. Yes, of course. The whole team's got to sign them. But, yeah, the food here has been good. They have a couple different dishes for us to try sometimes, whether it be, something from London or originated in London. But, I can't complain. It's been good. Colton Schmidt, punter. So, yeah, this is our meal room right here. Got few guys in here right now, but they got everything. They got cold food, warm food, lunch meats. They always got some type of, pasta. You can make yourself a sandwich. They got the drinks over there. Gatorade, juices, water, protein shakes. Here's a protein bar. A couple TVs, and then, the seating area. So it's nice. Yeah, they're taking care of us out here. I can't complain at all.
Well, right now it's back to the Bills roundtable with Mark Ludwiczak and Brian Jopp. Fellas, the big topic of the week, and pretty much the national media dominated, what Sammy Watkins said. He says, Bills, you're making me look bad, and you're making yourself look bad. Those are pretty strong words from the first round pick. Mark, what's your comments? What's your stance in the comments?
Sure. Well, for starters, he's not wrong. If you look at anything he said, everything he said, does he deserve to get the ball better? Should he get the ball more? Yeah, of course he should. Was it wise to say it publicly? Was it wise to say it while he's coming off an injury? Yeah, probably not. So I think there's two sides of the coin there. I do think clearly when the Bills have the investment in him that they do, you should give him the ball really as much as you can. But hey, if he's hurt, maybe you should wait a little while to make those comments. Wait till you're back fully healthy, and maybe you don't need to. Maybe you keep that behind closed doors. It doesn't come across great in fans, and I'm sure they were giving it to him yesterday. You could hear kind of a bronze cheer when he got his first catch of the game.
Yeah.
So.
I think that he was just answering questions and he was being honest with it. But like Mark said, I think that it's not wrong what he said. The only thing that really rubbed me the wrong way was having his agent call the Bills to pull strings. And like I coach a youth football team, so it felt a little bit like the parent coming up to you afterwards and saying, my kid didn't get enough playing time. And to me, it felt like, I'm like, okay, well, maybe being an NFL agent then is also being a babysitter for some of the players, because that's what it felt like to me. Like I've never heard of a player calling his agent and saying, tell them to give me the ball more.
Well, the agent's on Sammy's side, so I understand why he went there. And obviously, this is a Rex Ryan culture where players speak freely. So I'm not surprised he came out and said that. But using the agent is his only, really his only leverage, in my opinion, of doing that.
I don't agree with that. I mean, his coach is right there in the room with him.
Well, it's not working, and maybe he has said something a couple of weeks, and now he's like, hey, I got to get other people involved. And unfortunately, the only voice for Sammy Watkins in that organization besides his own is his agent, right?
Yeah, again, though, I personally still don't see how airing that publicly helps him at all. I think the downside far outweighs the upside, because it's out there, and fans, analysts, reporters can reference it anytime he has a drop or doesn't do something well. I think it just adds even more pressure to him, and it really wasn't needed.
Okay.
Yeah, or if you get injured in the game after you make those comments.
Not ideal.
It's funny. He says something and he gets a touchdown. He gets EJ looked a little more his way. I think he had 5 targets before he got injured in the game. So it's funny. I look at it differently. Like, it kind of worked. Now everybody's kind of keying in on him. He made a touchdown catch. So by making a little bit of ruckus, it actually worked out to his benefit. And that's just my opinion. But I'm not sure what he plans to do futurely. If he doesn't get the ball, he's going to, threaten and keep making these demands. But I kind of like how he did. I'm glad that came out inside him, because we want our number one asset to command the football. Do you think right now, so far in his career, that his draft pick is worth it for the 4th overall? Do you think the Bills reached for him, made a hasty move, or they're getting what they paid for, per se?
Well, I mean, right now, statistically, it might not be completely worth it. But I think revisionist history isn't always the best way to look at things. I think at the time of the trade, the Bills clearly had a feeling for this guy, and I support being aggressive and getting a player that you want, and clearly they wanted him. I do think you can look at what Cleveland did with some of the picks that they got from that trade, and those players have been pretty awful, if I remember correctly. So
yeah, Justin Gilbert.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's easier to look at it from that way and say, hey, at least the Bills were aggressive in getting the guy that they wanted, even if it completely hasn't worked out so far.
B, what do you think? You think he's worth the 4th overall pick so far in a wide receiver heavy draft last year?
I mean, like Mark said, you can't really be mad at the Bills for being aggressive and going after the guy they wanted. But maybe he hasn't been the player they wanted because he's on the Bills. Who's throwing to him? Last year.
And he kind of did say that in the article in the Buffalo saying that, hey, if Odell Beckham has Eli Manning, and I think the Odell Beckham thing is kind of the go-to hot take for anybody that isn't happy with it. But hey, look where Beckham went. There's a whole lot of other teams that would be happier if they took him earlier as
Absolutely.
well.
It's got to be tough for him to see his arrival on the cover of Madden, you know, and him knowing that he could, he feels he's probably better than him. Real quick, it says injury take on Sammy Watkins being injury prone. Is that a fair take for him so far in his career?
I mean, it's happened enough where you have to start to question it a little bit. Now, again, I don't think even the injury yesterday, it's not like something that happens to a brittle player. I think it was kind of a fluke. He rolled his ankle and something happened, and you go from there. But he does need to eventually stay on the field a little more.
Okay.
Yeah, yesterday was a fluke injury, and he stayed in there and made the catch. I mean, some guys would just go down at that point and just fall to the ground, but he made sure he got the catch before he laid down. So I think that speaks to his character a little bit.
I think so too. He caught a touchdown pass and unfortunately got hurt, but he's still one heck of a football player in my opinion. We'll be back with plenty more roundtable and out of bounds.
Hey, we're outside of the main entrance of our Grove, the hotel we're staying at. And, got some cool scenery here in London. You got your trees, your plants, your bushes, and got a nice little dusk setting here. The sun's starting to set. A little bit cloudy today, but it's a nice place overall, They got lots of room where you can sit, you can hang out, whether you're watching film, studying playbook, whatever you're doing. Oh, it's 24/7. You're doing something football related, something related to your profession, your love, all the time. But it's fun. You can also get away if you want to come out here. Just think about yourself, think to yourself, call your parents, whatever you want to do.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. Again, we're here at Danny South, 4300 Abbott Road. My name is Vic Acevedo, and we're going to get right back into the roundtable because we have a great discussion here with Mark Ludwiczak from Bills Digest and the owner of Ghostline Entertainment, Brian Jopp. Fellas, right now at 3-3, you've seen so far 6 games. Mark, are you buying or selling that the Buffalo Bills make the playoffs? And you've seen a lot of Bills football for your 10 years covering this
Put me
team.
on the spot right away. It's tough right now because right now, I mean, it looks like it could be about 50-50. Right now, they're 500. It's hard to know for sure at this point in the season. But because you asked, am I buying or selling, I would buy it right now only because I don't think the AFC is that great. I think there's 4 or 5 very good teams. I think the Bills are probably battling for that last playoff wildcard spot. Right now, as things look, I think they'll beat Jacksonville this upcoming week. And 4-3 at the bye, there's worse places to be with still a lot of season to go. So right now, I'd say, yeah, I think they will do it.
All right, Brian, what do you think? Is he right?
Well, yeah, he's right. If it was a stock, it would be on my watch list. I wouldn't buy or sell yet because they haven't lost 2 in a row, but they haven't won 2 in a row yet either.
No.
They have a chance to do it here with Jacksonville and Miami and then go on the bye. I mean, Jacksonville go on the bye and then Miami, but then they got the Jets and the Patriots after that. So it's like they could win 2 in a row, but they might lose 2 in a row. They got to get at least 9 wins this year and probably have to get 10.
Yes.
It's going to be tough to get 9.
Yeah,
where they say right now.
They're going to have to put some streak together, right? I mean, this can't go one step, one loss, one step, one loss. There's no way this division the title's still on the table, right? I mean, that's already written off, right? I agree with that, right, Brian?
I don't think New England loses a game this year.
Well, that's a bold statement.
I think they're unbelievable.
Yeah,
I watched that game last night against Indy. They're fantastic.
Okay. Well, if the title is off the table, do you think 3 teams can come out of the AFC East in the playoff picture?
The way it's looking right now, we were talking about it before we started taping. I'm surprised at how the Jets are playing with our old friend Ryan Fitzpatrick. But, hey, they're playing pretty well right now. They address a couple of key needs in free agency. So, I mean, it could certainly happen. Yeah.
Fitzpatrick isn't playing all that well. The defense is keeping them in the games, right?
Yeah, a little bit of mixture. I think Chris Ivory and Brandon Marshall are doing great jobs over there. Their offense, it's a well-balanced team.
Well, Chris Ivory is probably one of the best running backs in the league right now.
Yeah, right now, definitely right now. But like I said, they've done great in the offseason. I was telling Mark at the beginning that they filled every hole. There was this season. So I'm not surprised that they're 4-1. But we all know about Fitzpatrick. We've watched a lot of Fitzpatrick football. So down the stretch, we'll see if the league catches up with them. Here's a question, speaking of the playoffs. How shocked are you by this longest sports playoff drought here? 15 years. The Buffalo Bills in the National Football League have not made the playoffs. I mean, when you hear that, what comes to your mind?
Well, I'm around it every day, so I'm not shocked by it. I think if maybe I had a little, little space and wasn't covering the team every day for a decade, maybe I would be surprised by it. But hey, there have been a lot of changes, a lot of mistakes. I think when you look at all, specifically, I mean, we could talk for an hour about this. But
right.
All the coaching changes the Bills have made over the years, when you don't have continuity, it's hard to really turn the tide, and they're a pretty darn good example of that right now.
Brian, you and I argue back and forth about this all the time because this is astonishment to me. 15 years. Some guys just lucked their way in the playoffs, like Carolina did last year.
Mm-hmm. You're kind of stealing it here.
Yeah.
So my thing is this: when you have the best, most dominant team in your division, it's going to be even tougher for you to make the playoffs. But it's frustrating when you see a 7-9 team or an 8-8 team make the playoffs, and the Bills go 9-7 and miss the playoffs. So I think the 15 years thing is a little misleading. I mean, it's true.
It's true.
But they haven't been as bad as that, and they haven't been good enough either.
But there has only been 2 of those years when they were 9-7
Right.
and didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
So it's not like
They
it's
haven't
been
made
8-9 times. Yeah, but only 2 of those years they've had a winning record.
Right, and in that, Tom Brady didn't play one of those years. You're saying about the most dominant team in the division. There was a year that Tom Brady took a year off, right?
Still
When
the
he hurt his
Patriots,
knee.
they still got 11 wins.
They did, and they didn't make the playoffs. But still, your Dolphins, the Jets, everybody has extended at least 1 year, and here we are, 15 years, and hopefully not a 16. But it's still shocking in my mind that this team has still not made a playoff. All right, we're going to come back with our final segment here on Out of Bounds. We'll be right back.
Out of Bounds is brought to you by Diamond Cutters of Western New York. Power the pros buy direct from the Diamond Cutter. Excura Salon and Spa, the finest in traditional and modern techniques. Savor the experience. Bova Family Chiropractic, 1953 Ridge Road in Waseneca. Feel the healing hands. Stumps Gymnastics Center, 2187 Worley Drive in Williamsville. And by Flixtures on the web at www.etsy.com/shop/fixtures. By Buffalo Battleground Airsoft Arena and Store, providing birthday parties, walk-on play, and gaming 5 days a week. And by Wall Performing Arts Studios. Dance, act, sing, learn from the best.
All right, AJ, so thanks for the tour, first of all. And obviously talking about this game, Blake Bortles, second-year quarterback, we talked about him. But, coming out here, how much of a distraction can it be? And, how tough is it to stay on task being so far away from home?
I wouldn't say it's too tough. You got your guys around here, you got your teammates, your coaches, and we all do a great job of keeping each other on task. It was nice to see, to see the city of London, do a little bit of sightseeing. But at the end of the day, we only came out here for one reason, and that's to win. So, we've been preparing, the whole week, just like it was a regular game week, and we're acclimated and we're ready to go.
Has there been a lot of talk in the locker room about the former head coach and offensive coordinator being on the other side and guys want to go after him?
Not too much, I think, I don't think we're trying to take this too personally like that. We do see it as, it's a game. All we want to do is go 1-0 this week.
And then obviously the big news this week with EJ starting instead of Tyrod once again. Coach Ryan said that Tyrod's not fully 100%. EJ did some nice things last week, some things that he needs to improve on. But, what's the sense from the defensive side watching him go out there again?
Oh, yeah, we trust our coaching staff and our players, no matter, whether he was the backup at the start, no matter who's injured, no matter who's playing. We trust everybody, Everyone on this team is here for a reason, and, they're going to prepare like a starter every game. And, as a defensive side of the ball, you're thinking about your game plan, We obviously have all our trust in our offense, and all we can do is go out there and try to hold them to 0 points every time.
Got any family coming into London for the game?
I do not, actually. Yeah, here alone.
All right, and then what about, are you so far away that you cannot follow what's going on with Stanford?
I'll be watching the game. I always do.
Who they got this week?
Oh,
you can't even know. See,
I wasn't ready for
focused on this game.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right. Congratulations on a successful trip to London. Obviously, we hope you guys do well on Sunday. And if you want to say hello to anybody back home, now's your chance.
Hi, Mom and Dad and my brother, and hope you guys are doing well back in the States. But to all the Buffalo fans, we're going to come back. We're going to try our best to come back with a win for you guys.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds again. We're here at Danny South, 4300 Abbott Road. Let's get right back to the Bills Roundtable. Again, Mark Ludwiczak from Bills Digest, our guest, and of course the owner of Ghostline Entertainment, Brian Jopp. The final segment, and obviously the most popular guy right now in Western New York is Rex Ryan. The head coach of the Buffalo Bills, came in with a lot of fanfare. A lot of pump up. Bills fans excited. Never had a coach like this. Dick Duran. Think about Chan Gailey. Even Doug Marrone was a little drier. This guy is definitely the opposite of them. Is the Rex effect working for players and for fans? Is it wearing on people, you think?
Well, I don't think Sunday's game against Cincinnati was the strongest case for Rex Ryan. And to me, really, when you look at the problems they had on defense, and then players and Mario Williams in particular coming out afterwards and pretty much questioning some of the roles that these guys are in on defense. And there have been some rumblings about players maybe not particularly loving the system and the type of things that they're doing. So just the fact that that's starting to come out, and that when you think of a Rex Ryan defense, you think of pressure, you think of blitzes, you think of all that stuff. We haven't seen it the last couple of weeks,
No,
so I think there is some concern for that. But it is worth noting one thing Rhett said after the game, that he's going to try and maybe change some things up and get these players doing what they do well. So to me, number one, it's getting that pass rush better, because we haven't seen it.
No, we haven't. And the funny part about that pass rush is 2 seasons ago they were great under Mike Pettin. Where did Mike Pettin come from? Rex Ryan. So it's very confusing why the team is stepping backwards, which is making me think that this Rex Ryan effect is starting to wear on the players. A coach that's speaking for them as a mouthpiece, maybe putting them in some bad pressure situations before the opponents. Ryan, as a fan, is it wearing on you to hear this guy talk every week and not even deliver some of the results that he's talking about? No?
I mean, well, as someone who's in the media room with Rex Ryan, it's refreshing to have a guy who's up there with a little bit of charisma. I mean, we've sat through Dick Duran and Mike Mularkey and Chan Gailey.
Yes.
I mean, you talk about three of the driest coaches to ever speak at the podium. So that part is refreshing. I think that the Bills fans bought into it because when was the last time the Bills hired a big-name coach? I mean, even Marv Levy wasn't a big name when they got him.
No.
And I think that, it was a new ownership, finally doing something the fans thought the Bills should be doing, and that's not hiring a coordinator to be a head coach, but hiring a previous head coach to be a head coach. I don't think the defensive problems are Rex Ryan. I mean, there is a defensive coordinator, right?
There is, but they're all.
It's his defense.
Yeah, it's definitely his defense.
To me, I mean, to your question, to me, it's not about the bravado. It's not about the confidence and what he says. To me, it's about right now what type of scheme he's running, what is going on the field. Because again, especially in the last 2 weeks, I mean, we saw it in the opener. That opener, they got after Andrew Luck. It was the type of pressure that you expect from a Rex Ryan defense, and we haven't seen it lately.
Well, I mean, that Colts offensive line isn't the greatest in the world, and I wondered why, because they did get after Andrew Luck without Darius. But I look at this team, and maybe they should start transformation back to a 4-3. Looks like that's what they're built for. I see Mario drop. I saw Kyle drop a couple times, and I'm thinking to myself, that's not how you got 50 sacks last year. So I don't know if guys are put in the correct position. And I know you want to force feed what you know, but this team isn't built for what Rex Ryan is doing right now. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, well, I wrote this in my column yesterday, whether it's a 3-4, a 4-3, 46, whatever you want to run, really.
Right.
But I mean, maybe there are certain things that should be changed so they're better, and so they have more pressure up front. I mean, maybe you should change things schematically so they're better at that. And you look at yesterday's game in particular. There were a lot of times when they only rushed 3, and that's really when I mentioned Mario Williams' comments yesterday. That's what he was talking about. That he dropped back a lot. Why is Mario Williams, one of the best and highest paid defensive players in the league, dropping?
Right. There's absolutely no reason.
It shouldn't happen.
It
It shouldn't happen. So I think those are things that schematically should and need to be changed.
Mark, thanks for joining us. Throw out your Twitter handle real quick.
Sure. MarkLed12, and check out Bill's Digest.
Well, we'd like to thank everybody here at Danny South, as we always come here at 4300 Abbott Road every Monday night. We're going to be back next week. Sal and AJ will take the spot. We'd like to thank Meridian Federal Credit Union, Diamond Cutters of Western New York, and of course, Skirius Salon Spawn. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next week on Out of Bounds.